It's Yoshi, aka Jurassic Fanatic, and this is Scrap Baby! Here is my custom Scrap Baby. I've been so excited to show you guys because I finally was able to finish her because I finally got her legs because, you know, it took a hot minute. It took a hot minute. So I'm going to show her off to you because I'm so happy with how she turned out. She is beautiful. She is a wreck in the best way possible. And this is how she looks. Yeah, I got her legs from Pig Patch, who I was able to buy for a pretty cheap price from a Mercari seller. And then I was like, yes, I can finally complete her because I was just missing her legs. Here is a close-up on her head. Before, it was very plain and was missing the colored spots on the top left and right, bottom right. And also the hair was quite plain. Overall, she was just way too clean looking, was not dirtied up enough for me, and didn't look metal. I really like to make them look metal. So that's what I did here with a bunch of metallic paint that I can show in the video. I'll show you what metallic paints I used. But here she is. I'm very happy with the way her face turned out. I didn't really do anything with her eyes because I didn't really think of anything to do with her eyes, and it's not like they look that bad, so her eyes are still just the same as they were. But everything else I kind of covered up in some way. Her mouth is the same though. I didn't touch that up either. But here's her hair. I added the blue streaks in it because those weren't there before. So she's got the blue streaks, the red, and then these silver metal gray looking ones. And it took me a while to find metallic orange, surprisingly, because I think they like to assume that gold is good enough, and it's not. So I was able to find metallic copper to use for her hair for the orange, and then I put black wash over it so that it looks darker and there looks like there's more shadows going on, and also dirtied up the area where her head meets the neck. You can see right there. So yeah, you kind of have to just assume where things would get dirty, hypothetically. I should sculpt her nose at some point, though. I don't like how it's flat, but anyway. Moving on down, here is her torso. This is what this looks like. I don't actually know what parts come with which figures because I didn't get her from all the Build-A-Figure parts. I bought her online from lots that I was able to find parts of her for like cheap, you know, I don't know. Pig Patch was the only one I got the legs from, so yeah, but here is the torso. I didn't really know what to do in the center. I hear a lot of people complain about how the center's plain and there's nothing going on there. But if you look at reference pictures of her online, it's so dark that you can't really see what's going on there anyway. So I just made it black, like how it was. I just made it a darker black. And I dirtied up everything, of course. Used that metallic copper on where the orange parts are. Used metallic red where the red parts are. You get what I'm saying. And then just use that black obsidian to make it look really dirty and oily, as you can see here. So see that looks very metal. I'm very happy with the way the skirt turned out because that does look like very dirtied up metal, and that's what I was going for. So yeah, okay, if her hand would get out of the way. Okay, so yeah, this is the torso. I figured when I was shading the skirt, I of course wanted the darkest part shadow to be where it connects to the waist, but I also figured that these end parts would get really tattered. Like this, if you ever look at metal that's dirty or rusty, the edges always get worn out, I'd say. So I wanted to do that, and I think it worked out very well because it does indeed look like that. And I did do the bottom part of her skirt too. It's not like that's not done either. So as for her arms were very flat gray before doing anything. I don't have any before pictures, but obviously if you have a Scrap Baby or just look it up, you'll see how flat gray the arms are because it's just molded in gray plastic. So literally just covering the arms in a metallic gray color already does a lot. But if you want to take it a step further, you can use Obsidian Black to deepen the dark values that are supposed to be darker. So like shading in between where these wire cable things are, shading in between the finger grits or whatever that is. And then here, wherever things meet another thing is where you would shade. I really like the way her palm turned out. I like that a lot. So yeah, just dirtied up a little bit of the arms and stuff. So yeah, that's what that hand looks like. And then here's the other arm. Darkened this a lot. You just basically completely cover this in black and then slowly shade it on here. And then you use your fingers a lot to wipe things off. My hands were very dirty by the end of this. Like, you wipe off a lot of things. And then I did the same on this side. And then the Obsidian I just used to darken areas that need to be darker. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that arm. Moving on, her legs. Here's her legs. The things I've been waiting for a few months now. Like, it's been a while. I've had this part of her done for a while now. It was the legs that I was waiting on, because if you know, buying a complete Scrap Baby just as is very expensive. It's about 80 bucks or something. And I'm not doing that. So I just ended up coming across someone who was selling Pig Patch on Mercari, complete in box with the build a figure. Can I even talk? Let me try this again. I came across someone on Mercari selling Pig Patch that still had the Build-A-Figure parts. There we go. Which are these two legs. And I bought him for 12 bucks. So it was great. It was great. I did not end up spending $80 for her. So perfect, because I was able to get her head and her torso in a lot. And then I bought a Funtime Freddy that actually came with her arm that someone was selling. So I try to get things cheaper than what you could buy an entire one for, if that makes any sense. I do a very good job of getting off track. So here are the legs. I like the way these turned out. They're very dirty and I love it. I just went crazy with the black Obsidian paint to dirty up the legs here. So it especially looks good, really good on the white, because you can, the contrast. And then I did fill in all these red parts on the bottom of her leg. And once again, just darkened areas that would be darker. So there'd be a big shadow here. So I did that. There'd also be a shadow kind of towards the bottom of the foot here. So yeah, I'll just show you some. Dirtied up the skates in areas that should be, because this is the brake, right? So like the brake on a skate, you'd be like, shh. So it'd take up a lot of dirt, okay, if you've ever been roller skating. And also, of course, the wheels. I still haven't signed the bottom. I signed the bottom of them, so still gotta do that. But yeah, here's Scrap Baby. Let me know what you think. I love her. If she wasn't so freaking expensive, I'd make one for you guys. But maybe if you guys are willing to pay a premium for me to buy a Scrap Baby for a ridiculous price online to then completely deck her out like this, and you would buy a custom Scrap Baby, then maybe. But until then, this is the only one I have, so she's mine. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you want one. I really liked painting her. I love painting figures that are meant to look dirty, because that way I don't have to be so tedious, I suppose. I don't have to be so conscious of my hands being clean and messing up, because if you mess up, oh, well, it just becomes a part of the dirty look. So yeah, here she is. Yep, that's basically the video. I'm gonna end it here. Let me know what you think.